Hello and welcome to the second For the Love of Bob Ross January live stream. We're going to give away the first painting tonight. It's this one right here, all nicely wrapped in cellophane, ready to go. And there it is. I don't know if you can read that. That's the winner. Jenna, congratulations. I'm going to be contacting you and shipping that out as soon as I get your information. So isn't that exciting? We're gonna get right to it because we have a lot to do today. I'm gonna flip the camera and show you what we're doing. Second painting is going to be this beautiful little number, doing something with a little bit more color. I'm gonna try not to be so rigid on the layout, so that we can move faster, because we are going to be doing this in under an hour, so we need to pay attention to our art time over there. I can see the chat, so you can go ahead and leave comments there and I can reply to them. I'm going to start by painting the sky here. It's really soft. It's a really soft sky. And it's got some yellow and some pink in it. And we're going to do this in a vertical layout. And again, just like last time, if for any reason we can't get done in our hour, then we're going to continue. I'm going to continue to paint and finish it, and then I'll post the done painting on Instagram. Because if we don't get done, we'll get really close. This is a challenge, it's not the absolute cutoff. Also, the entry word for tonight's stream is surprisingly Ross 2. So if you'd like to be in the drawing to win this painting, go to that website, enter that number with your email, and I will randomly pick a winner. The music we are featuring tonight is a random SoundCloud copyright-free playlist, courtesy YouTube. So we're gonna get some variety. We're painting on illustration board and it absorbs a lot of paint, so you're going to see me occasionally spray the board or spray the paints, and that's to keep them mixable longer. We're working in acrylic paint, and it's different than what Bob Ross uses to paint. He was using oils back then. That was pretty much what you did. Okay, this is a very nice rosy kind of sunset sky, winter sunset sky, so it's really soft. And there's no clouds in this sky, which is weird because, you know, you typically wouldn't have a lot of sunset color without some sort of atmospheric interest or what have you. I might need to add a cloud, just, you know, as my own personal touch. This might be a mandatory thing. Just some light ones, no big deal. Just, you know, like here, maybe here, because we're just doing inspired, you know, for the love of Bob Ross, not so much like the rigidity of Bob Ross, and I'm sure he'd approve. In loving memory of Bob Ross. Okay, we'll make the sunset cloud a little bit yellow, and then maybe add some pink to the tops of it. Okay, we do all this in the interest of moving quickly. We did get done on time. I was very proud of that last time, kind of as a first run especially. Everything went well. We do have some improvements this time around. We have a new microphone, which is exciting. And the camera is now attached to a tripod that is not attached to the table that I'm working on. So all this like happy cloud bouncing over the canvas is not going to bounce the visual for you guys, which I feel like is a vast improvement also. All right, that looks good. It's a little bit more interest in this guy there. As I look at the photograph that we were painting from, it kind of looks like a really yellow hot spot right in the middle. Kind of bothers me a little bit. All right, I'm gonna stop messing with that now. Move on to the background horizon line, which looks to be mostly gray. Just like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of blue. We're using tonight acrylic paint. We're using Winsor & Newton Galleria acrylic paints. All right, let's see, horizon line. Seems like a frozen lake is what we're painting. And there's a little bit of a shore shoots out right here. And then a little bit on this side too. And comes down. And then, of course, there's going to be trees on the left and trees on the right. Just for approximate shoreline. Maybe we'll straighten up that pine tree a little bit. This is a little bit curvy, but you know, it's not going to be exactly like his painting, just approximate. That's what we're shooting for. Inspiration. Okay, now we're going to kind of work in the background trees now that we have kind of our layout here. Gonna need to blend a little bit more of our gray to get that done. Okay. Like it's pine trees back here. And they get a little bit vague on the sides, so kind of really impressional in the background. There's a birch tree in front of it. I can see why. I'm a little bit lazy here. I think I need to switch to a smaller brush for these pines. You get a little bit more of the branch detailing in. on the happy little trees that are going to be in the back, of course. Of course they're happy. I'm not going to be going into what the sizes of the brushes that I'm using are because I'm very untechnical with the brushes that I use. I'll go into the art store and just feel around, and whatever feels good is what I use. So I tend to go with a lot of synthetics. Something about just the bounce that they have. They usually stand up pretty well. They last long, the new synthetics. Easy to use. And affordable. There's that. Having a hard time picking one that's like the right size for this canvas. Gotta go small. Okay, this is probably small enough. Hopefully. Tree lines can take a long time if you let them. And some of these are just going to be really impressionistic though. And fade it out into the mist of the background. Should look pretty nice. There we go. Okay, let's do some mist coming into that lake and using the same grays. It's starting to dry up there now. So you just kind of blend up into them without too much risk. Blend too early before the previous layer is dry and you'll get the pickups in your color. And that's no fun. Alright, there's a little bit of mirroring on this lake. So I'm going to paint that in now. It's a glassy lake, but it's very foggy also. Hello to newcomers. We're painting a Bob Ross inspired painting, landscape painting. We're going to be giving away. Also, this week will be open to anybody that wants to sign up to win. It's a random drawing. You just sign up on the website, super easy. We gave away last week's painting at the beginning of this stream. We will be doing this again next week. And then I think there's one more Bob Ross painting after that, so 4 Bob Ross streams total, all winter scenes. And then we'll move on to February. I'm not ready to announce February's theme yet. I have a couple ideas. Very exciting, but we might even leave it up to a vote, which could be fun. Could be potentially fun to have an Instagram story vote on that. There's a little bit of the sky glow in this lake too, that I'm noticing. I'll make sure to get that in there. And maybe clean off the brush so we can get that a little bit brighter. Try to keep this water area really soft. And a little bit brighter than it is right now. Let's see. Working on illustration board, so there's little to no texture at all, but it does absorb quite a bit of moisture. So the paint does stick really well to it. I think it's very nice for blending. I like working with it. All right, here's our glow in the water. I think we're gonna put a little bit of that rosy color in the water too. I'm not sure that's represented on the original, but I like it. Little, a lot, whatever. As long as it looks good for our painting, that's fine. Try to get some of this mist back here. Some of the water lines over the reflection. It looks to me that there's obviously snow in this one. Some of the snow comes up here. Looks like it's underneath the plants. There's some more reflection lines here. I'm going to define out the shoreline a little bit. Let's check. It looks like there's just some foreground kind of scrub brush in front of that reflection there. I think we'll just be kind of vague with some of that there. We'll see how ours is different. reflection here. All right, now I think we're ready to place some trees, some tree trunks. So we're gonna need a thinner brush. I'm gonna use Script. And we're gonna use black. We're gonna water it down. Got 20, we're only 21 minutes in on our art time, so we're looking good. Looking good. So, got a couple of trees on the right. I'm not going to say much while doing those fine branches. I don't even breathe when that's happening. Or, you know, you just breathe like a ninja, just very low and slow breaths so you don't exhale while you're doing anything important. Alright, the other tree kind of leans out a little bit. I'll try to keep the palette wet so that I don't have to get more paint. Okay. Okay, one more little branch over here. And we'll finish up the bottom of the trunk. Okay, now there's a pine tree at the edge of the bank on this side. Goes to about here. And leans in ever so slightly. think this is one of Bob's like happy little brush edge trees. The tree types, the pine trees he does, with just one gigantic big brush. We can try it out. I don't know about the top. I like my top to be a little bit more ornate, but it's definitely the faster way to do it. I'm just, you know, it's all about how comfortable you are with your friend brush, whichever friend brush you're using. Good to make friends with your brushes because you want to make sure if anything happens, it doesn't ruin your relationship forever. Well, see, this is turning out. A lot of my landscape brushes are really beat up, and I like them like that because they just give you more interesting texture. All right, we're gonna call that good. Now, there's some foliage behind this next tree. It's kind of this plum color, so I'm gonna put a little bit of ultramarine into the red that I have on my palette. I'll just mix it in front of you. It's dark too, and it goes all the way up to the top of the painting. Yep, that's about the right color. Just kind of representing a tree that's back there that's pretty flamboyantly colored. It looks like in this scene, it's like a beginning of the winter scene. There's snow on the ground, but it's fallen off a lot of the tree leaves. I'm going to do a little bit of the background ground foliage while we're thinking about it. It's toned warm like that background tree, except for it has a lot more gray. There's a lot of little bushes that are these colors here in the foreground. Some of them are very vague and ambiguous and covered with little tufts of snow. A little bit different tone. So we'll paint those in too while we're at it. I'll add the snow later after they're dry. You don't want dirty snow. That's about right. Okay, now we'll go back to doing the trees over that. what we just painted. All right. There's a little scraggly tree right here behind this pine. So the value is a little bit lighter towards the top. I can't remember if Bob says they're still happy little trees when they have no leaves. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. Okay. Now for this big tree on the left. The big tree that I think is holding all those red leaves. And it just goes straight up the side of our painting and starts right here. A little bit forward of our other happy friend trees. And it goes all the way up. Okay, and now some branches, gonna be slightly warmer. And it seems like the branches on this guy are just a little bit different as far as how they grow, their habit. Squiggle a little. Kind of fun, kind of interesting. I don't know what kind of tree this would be. It doesn't matter so much. Okay. Okay, looks good there. Now let's add some sticks to the ground here, to our little bushes and such. These will be partially covered in snow. It'll be like little pieces of grass and whatever, what have you. All right, now we're going to do some tree foliage. I'm going to need that mushy brush again for some foliage mushing. It looks like we should do some kind of like warm gray on those trees on the right, and then go back and do the white after that. Here goes nothing. This takes some getting used to. First, you got to make friends with your brushes, or spend time together. Helps if you go places together. Know what your brush is made of. Take time to really break it in. And then, when you look at your collection of paint, it doesn't really matter what's written on the handle. It's the relationship you have with them. You know what they're gonna do. And I've been doing so much digital painting lately that some of my traditional brush friends here haven't forgotten what they do. And then I typically work larger than this by a pretty good margin. And it's funny when you feel a little bit clumsy in the scale that you're working in, it can take you longer to do a smaller painting than it would to do a larger painting. But I really do like the thought of giving these away to viewers. So I need to work in a size that's easy to ship and get there in really good shape and be affordable enough for me to keep on doing this. This is kind of a neat idea. Okay, now we're going to do the white. On top of that medium dark purple. Not dark, it's not dark purple. Nothing in this is dark. I'm going to add some highlights to the bark on some of these trees too. Add a little bit more interest there. to switch over to the smaller brush again for this. I almost wish I had a small palette knife for this part right here. You want to make brush strokes that kind of mimic the bark here. You want something that's horizontal. And this is one of those cases of like the bigger the tree, the easier to detail in the bark. Okay, now the other side. This one's a little bit bigger, so it's going to be a little bit easier on us. All right, getting all the way up there. Alright, anything we're missing out on here? Here is a checkup on what we're painting from. Right, so it'd be at that angle. Pretty close. Looking good. If you're interested in winning this painting, be sure to take the entry word, Ross2, to that website. Super easy, right at the top. Can't miss it. I'm going to be posting this to YouTube after we're done here. It's going to be on my website as well. For anybody that wants to enter to win any of these live stream paintings, you'll have 1 week all the way up until the next one airs. I do the random drawing right before we go live. Giving as many people a chance to enter and watch as possible. It's all about sharing. Art time says 44 minutes and we are finishing up right now. A couple more sprigs of like winter grasses just for interest here and there. And then of course we have to sign it. And we're going to sign it in red because that's what Bob does. And he signs it in the left. So we're going to do that too. Right, get it. Great. I think next week we're gonna vote on what the next Bob Ross painting we're gonna do. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week and for another Bob Ross painting, another Bob Ross painting after that, and then new theme in February, super fun, and we'll vote on that too. Good night.